Money. Welcome to the project. If it's TDP, you can bet it's must-see TV. Real talk, having real talks with the TBE. The best ever, letting me be me. We be always busy and they hate that. They gotta see Miggy in his Maybach. Hater couldn't hit me till they listen to a playback. What I owe you, cause like really this the payback. No Diddy, take that. See in profit, we could pop it till it's over. See the vision can't be cropped unless I'm chopping it through Nova. Kato jumping in and out of pocket like a soldier. Cause like really to touch every single topic is a project. Let me show you. Up to something like my hand on a cannon. Push a button like I'm Lando or Landon. Climbing up the charts, how you smart but you can't understand it. You will never see us famished, so vanish, for real. Welcome to the project.
I really like this shirt.
It's a dope shirt, yeah.
And you see this guy right here. He's a legend right here. And I don't get the opportunity to wear it often in like meaningful settings. And you know, when we start off a podcast, it's like who do we talk to? What guests do we want? We did the show where it was the few of us talking and we were talking about all the trending topics, which we're now getting back into.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what type of guests do we want? And we've gone through so many different varieties of guests and people that we like to speak to. And now we're finally getting to a space, I feel like we're hitting our stride.
Yeah.
You know, Kato and I are just like, we're having more and more fun doing this. Like it's, 5 years in now? We're literally
Congrats,
5 years
Coming up,
in.
yeah, coming up on it.
Yeah, and it's been interesting. But today we get an opportunity to talk to somebody that's doing amazing things out there and in a completely different way. You go by Joshua Mundy, but we're going to call you Shua. And Dads vs. Predators.
Against Predators.
Against Predators.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
and,
sir.
And when this, like, how did this start for you?
Yeah, so my first catch was January 20th, 2020. And it all started basically, I had somebody messed with in my family. And the police like charged him with like the least like severe of a crime. It was like the 5th degree felony. And then the dude goes to court and he ends up having to like no jail time at all, didn't even go to jail, and end up having to register privately. And like he molested a 4-year-old girl.
Damn.
So
Privately.
So not even like publicly, like he's not even on the public registration. So I would go to this guy, he would get jobs and everything, like he just lived his normal life. He just reported to like a probation officer. So I would go to his jobs. He'd work at Taco Bell and shit. I'd go to Taco Bell, Bob Evans, like wherever this dude was like working. I'm going there. I'm showing their managers. They're like the paperwork and stuff. And
this is who you let work for you.
Exactly,
Like, yeah.
exactly. And they're just slipping through the cracks. And I was in college. I wanted to be a football coach. I wanted to be a high school football coach. So I was like, damn, I don't really like. So I got to be a teacher, but like I just wanted to be a football coach. So. I'm going to school to be a teacher, and I'm in it would be, I guess, my junior year. And the first guy that walks in, like I'm sitting in statistics class early. The first guy that walks in is this motherfucker.
Nah.
Swear.
Wow.
And I'm like giving him the evil eye and shit. And I go talk to the dean of the school. I tell her the whole situation. This is what's going on. And she's like, you know, you just can't make a scene. Don't tell anybody about it. Like, we'll try to handle it internally. And, you know, he has a right to be here, too. He paid to be here, too. And then, like, I told everybody in the class. I told the teacher and shit. Like, and I just realized, like, the police are protecting this guy. And the regular public is protecting this guy. So I was like, man, this is crazy. And I had seen videos, everybody's seen like Chris Hansen and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So there was a group called Pop Squad. And I believe he operated in like Connecticut. And he does kind of what I do, but I would watch him and he'd just be so nice to the pedophiles. Can I cuss?
Yeah.
Okay. My bad. I wasn't sure.
Heavily.
Shit. But so anyways, I would watch this guy. He's so nice. And me and my boy Jay, who's my partner, he's like, yeah, let's do it. So we set up a Grindr account. We had no idea what a Grindr was. We just heard like the dude in Connecticut talk about it. So like we're setting up these dating apps and stuff. Eventually we get a guy, and we're from like a small town. It's like a border town between Ohio, Michigan, and stuff. And 16,000 people. And we caught a guy, and it just went nuts. It's all over the news. And we caught 3 guys in 24 hours. And shit just went crazy. I'm still in school trying to figure it out. And I'm like catching kind of like on a weekend here and going to school. And then COVID happened. And everybody got that stimulus check. And I'm like, shit, let's go catch somewhere else with it. You know what I mean? So we took our stimulus checks, me and my boy, we put them together and like went on a little cross country drive. We went to Indiana, caught a predator in Indiana, caught a predator in Illinois. And we caught this woman in Iowa City. We were on the way to Denver, and we stopped in Iowa City. We caught this woman, and she went completely viral, like 2 million views in like 2 days. And basically like launched what was, I guess, like for lack of better words, a hobby, something like I did, like I catch predators on the side, to like, this is like actually like a real career path, and like a situation where like I can make a bigger impact, you know, than just like my local hometown. So it turned into something like completely different to like where we are now, you know?
I know, right? It's heavy, right? Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Like there's so many questions too. But the approach you take is a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know?
Nowadays. Yeah. So we're not allowed on YouTube no more. We just had a documentary made with Tommy G. Shout out Tommy G. He's a great guy. But they weren't even allowed to say dads against predators. They had to bleep out like the predators part. Like really? It was so hard to get it like on YouTube. It was crazy.
And that's just out of fear of being flagged.
Yeah,
for
like
the PDF.
They have like they have like a lawyer that they were sending it through, and they're like, no. So like,
wow.
The copy that eventually went up there was just like 6 edits in. But wow. YouTube was always rough on us. Like, we never put hands on nobody. We were just like talking to them rough with like mean energy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they was just like bullying. They took down 3. We had 185,000 subs on YouTube, and 2,000 paying members on Patreon. And in the same day, I woke up and they were gone. Started from 0. So we've been scratching and all that stuff, like to have a platform to like be like seen, you know what I mean? And we built it back up, you know, Instagram and locals and our website and everything. So
I'm sure you've had to do that a few times.
Yeah. I'm on like my 5th Instagram. It's I have like PTSD, like I'll wake up in the morning and like it'll be like
because
my Instagram won't
freezes,
load and shit. And I'll get a pit in my stomach. I'll be like, oh my God. I'll start telling myself we can do it again. And then it'll load. I'll be like, whew.
Yeah, you got to hit Google to see if the app is down.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Down detector.
I'll start pacing in my house and shit. But no, it's been a wild ride, and we started off in like good old boys, like, you know, we're gonna call the police and we're gonna try to get you in trouble. And we just realized, like, bro, the police are not getting these guys in trouble. And just another, like, after doing it so long, we're like, hold on, like, how are we? I've been a part of like over 800 catches.
Wow.
And it's like,
thank you, by the way.
Oh, thank you, man. All over the country. I think we've caught in like 32 states, something like that. And so we go to a place and we'll just catch like 6 bad guys in a weekend, 3 days, something like that. And we were just like, yo, how is this so easy? Like, number one, it's scary. There's that many pedophiles out there.
I was just going to say what trips me out, because every time you give numbers, I'm like, damn, this is like a short amount of time.
And I'm not the only one, you know?
I think I heard you say 3 in 3 hours.
Yeah.
Bro, what? It's hard for me to go to the restaurant and pick up food in less than, you know.
There's so many cities where, like, we leave guys uncaught because, like, we just don't have the time because we're catching other guys, which leads into... So when you catch a bad guy and you wait for the police, in a big city, usually response time's like hour 15, sometimes an hour and a half. So we'll wait there for like the cops for an hour and a half. Then an average police officer can do nothing about this situation because technically I can be making the messages up. You know what I mean? Even if they admit to it, they don't deal with this stuff. So they got to call a sex detective. Now, if it's late, a sex detective might not be at the office, so they got to call one in. So now we're looking at like another 3 hours. Like I told you, we can catch 3 predators in 3 hours. So now we're spending 7 hours on one predator, and the detectives will show up 7 hours later and be like, "Hey, here's a card. Email me all the evidence that you got." So after doing that for so many years, and just like watching these predators walk away at the end of the night, like we're just like, okay, if all this shit is an email anyways, we'll email you the shit and you can just do whatever you want to it. But like, we're gonna start like treating this a little bit more like a father would. That's the whole dads against predators, you know? I got 3 kids. So
take a little bit more.
Yeah, we're going to take a little bit of a hands-on approach. If you guys can get what I'm saying.
Hello.
But I started the whole public announcement of like, excuse me, everybody. Like before we were doing it, it was just like you caught a predator and you were talk to him in a house. You know what I mean? There was no like public embarrassment.
Shame.
I started the public embarrassment, the whole excuse me, everybody. That's such a philosophical thing to me that not only is it like a nightmare situation, it's like you have the dream where you're like in the underwear, you're in your underwear at school type of shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He's living his worst fears just like screamed in front of like all of public. It's scary, but also it's the excuse me everybody is like I said, I've caught in 32 states. I've caught in glamorous Miami. I've caught in like bump Vermont. You know what I mean? So like. People,
shout out Vermont. Don't stop tuning in.
Sorry, Vermont.
Guess Vermont.
Bitch ass Vermont. But
I didn't even catch that.
No, but it shows people because so many people. I'm from a small town, so you'll see this stuff and be like, "Oh, that only happens in LA. That only happens in Florida." You know what I mean? And to see like these are their local grocery stores, and there's a pedophile next to them, and in my opinion. Pedophiles are just as scary as like murderers, you know what I mean?
Worse.
And like serial killers, you know what I mean? They're like creepy. So like if Jeffrey Dahmer was like shopping next to you at Target, you would probably want to know, you know what I mean?
Real.
And then comes the smacks. A lot of times I lie to these guys. I'll be like, you know, I'll give you 3 options. Either I'll beat your ass or I smack you. Or we call the police right now, do all this paperwork, da. Whole time the police is gonna be sent the information anyways. But I like to open hand smack them, man. Like, cause we could just beat their ass. I usually show up with like more guys than them. I'm like, they're little rats. You could beat them up. But right. I feel like
they're in there
like right now, if I punched you in the face, you're a strong guy, man. But if I punched you in the face and like I won, but you fought back and we got into a tussle. Like, what would be worse, me doing that or me smacking you in the face in front of all these people and you don't do shit about it?
Yeah, definitely the slap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Definitely the smack.
Yeah,
so people
man.
be like, why didn't you beat his ass? I'm like, bro, I just smacked him and treated him like a bitch. You know what I mean? Because I believe is rooted in power more than it is in like a sexuality. I believe a lot of these guys, they'll be like, oh, these guys are pieces of shit, this and that. And it's like, yeah, they are. They have like no power over a regular individual. They're like, they're just weak. They're just weak people. And then you have like the Epstein types who are super powerful. And it's like they've had all the power in the world. They've had the biggest the biggest bank accounts, the biggest, like the nicest cars, the biggest boats. And it's like, but what else can they like have power over? And then you have the kids and stuff like that. Yeah. So I think like both sides always like lead to that. You know what I mean? I'm not a psychologist or anything like that. It's just like my opinion of being in the field. Yeah. So that's where the smacks come in, is the like, nah, you're a bitch. Yeah. You know what I mean? You got no power in this world. And I'm gonna open hand smack you and beating your ass and like closing my fist and punching you. You don't even deserve that shit. You know what I mean? Right. I'll punch a man. You know what I mean? Like I'll fight a man. I ain't about to fight you.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying?
It also serves as a reminder to let you know there's people out there like me.
Yeah.
If you ever see my face again, like
I like
I hope
breaking the
you think
matrix.
of me, right? Okay.
People really think like there's force fields, like you can touch people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
Like
in this day and age with social media and hiding behind apps and different personas and a different
Especially
profile
these
pic.
guys, they're infamous for hiding behind the app.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then doing their grand reveal. Do you ever feel, though, that there's nothing worse than getting slapped, right? We just mentioned that. Like, it's one of the most demasculinizing, if that's a word that I just made there, things that you could do to somebody, right? And you ever think that they might take that anger out on the next child, knowing that the police aren't doing anything?
I mean, to be honest, I've never even thought of it like that. So that's an interesting way to take it. But I guess my responsibility to that is just like, what else?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Right.
Like I don't know.
Something's better than nothing.
Yeah, something's better than nothing. You know,
That's a lot of what you're carrying as far as like what flag you bear is not enough is being done.
Yeah, that's one thing that I think separates me from everybody else who does this. I'm not the only guy that catches predators. I'm the only guy that does like a lot of shit, but not the only one that catches predators. But I hold the police and the judicial system accountable. Like, we pay a lot of money in taxes. You know what I mean? And if we ask a random person at Walmart, like, what's your worst crime? And they're gonna, one of the top three is gonna be molesting kids, all that stuff, and murder, right? And those just happen to be the three things that like our police are terrible at solving, right?
Yeah.
Like, they solve like I think 30% of murders. Anytime that like we do stop child predators, it's a reactionary instead of a prevention. You know what I mean? There has to be a victim. And that's another great thing about what we do. There's no victim. There's no real child like being like not only like just perversed by the conversations that are having, but like in danger in the meeting. And police we pay them all this money every year, and they like buy new cars and new gadgets and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, dude, it only takes an iPhone. You know what I mean? And one cop. It don't even take an iPhone. You can go get like a $30 Android at Walmart. So I've always asked, like, why aren't y'all doing this? Because why can I go to your city and catch 6 guys? You know, like, I shouldn't be able to do that. Like,
I'm not a professional.
Yeah,
right? Like,
that's
I'm
the whole
not
thing that they tell me is
SWAT,
like, you're not trained, and it's like,
But you are.
worked.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so that's my biggest problem is like, why am I able to go into these cities and do it? And it's, I think like we need to start looking at these people and be like, where's our money going? You know, every time I see cops sitting on the side of the road, and it's crazy in Florida. There's so many cops here in Florida. It's nuts. But you just see cops sitting on the side of the road waiting for people to like speed and shit. And it's just like, is this really what we want like our officers doing instead of like catching pedophiles? Right. You know, and we have such a disconnect as society. I can speak for America, where like we don't trust our police. And in bad neighborhoods, good neighborhoods, like nobody like fucks with the police anymore. And it's like you can there's a path to like repair that relationship, and it's like y'all are deliberately not doing it. You know what I mean? It just becomes like a weird thing.
I saw a post. This is probably one of the worst things to bring up on a podcast, right? But I saw a post recently in lieu of recent events with ICE, and they said it's funny how I don't see y'all looking for them pedophiles like this. You're looking for Hispanics kicking down doors and pulling people out of cars, but y'all know where these pedophiles are. You know where the people are that have hordes of child on their laptops and phones and on these sites and on these, dark web pages doing all this stuff, exchanging it. But you're not knocking down those doors. What is that? Like, what are we protecting? What's the bigger? Because apparently it goes all the way up. Okay, there's a multi-million-dollar industry in this for this type of whatever you call it, fixation. Why aren't you going after them?
And that's why they made the movie Freedom, right? I think it was called Freedom, right?
Yeah,
the one that they were speaking on it, and it's crazy to me that even after that movie, there has to be this explanation. Like, it seems like everybody has to explain themselves why we're doing this, but for everything else, it's like, let's kick these guys out of the country. You know what I mean? But it's terrifying
for sure.
It's there was no way you were going to do that 2 episodes ago.
Mr. Miyagi.
The last episode.
He was telling me about a mosquito that him up, and I'm like, there he goes.
Yeah.
Try to get him out.
But do you feel like it's a lack of resources or lack of attention to that department, or do they actually not want to do it?
That's what I'm saying. Is early on, I was like, you hear their bullshit. I'll go catch where they're at. You know what I mean? They'll have a press conference a lot of times if it goes viral and shit. And they'll be like, oh, we have teams that are trained to do this, and it's like their teams that are trained is like they sent some officers to like a hotel for like a weekend and had them watch some videos, and now they're certified in training, and then they do it like every 3 months or something to like meet a quota so they can still keep getting money for the training
program, yeah.
Exactly. So we have these programs, so we need pay, and it's just like like I said, if you see a cop on the side of the road waiting for somebody to speed, and there's absolutely no police working on catching files, like I really don't want to hear we have a staff problem, or like we have. It just doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? It's not an expensive thing to do.
Have they ever done like the opposite? Has any law enforcement agency ever reached out to you and say, give us some ideas on how to catch people?
Tons. Yeah,
Nice.
tons.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, there's a lot of good individual officers out there. Like, for the average cop is a decent guy for the most part, you know? So
Word.
there's a lot of guys out there that want to do it, and it's just like, it's just weird. Like, I've been doing this a long time, and I really don't know the answer. It's just like, it just gets, why aren't you? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It just starts to get like really funky of like, it doesn't cost, the most expensive thing for me to catch predators is the travel. Like, I have to travel. I got to pay people to come with me. I can't do it by myself.
Right.
I got to have somewhere to stay. And then, like, I have a home. I got dogs and cats and stuff that I need people to watch them and stuff like. So, like, that's the hard part for me. If you are a police officer, you're here in the city. They don't have to do this all over America. You just do it in your fucking city, and they just, like, refuse to. And
it's wild because they're kids, you know, like,
right?
Like, how is this not? And to me, it's always been mind blowing. It hasn't gotten any less mind blowing. If anything, more. You know, we see everything that's going on with Epstein, and when they are speaking about this in front of the press, it's like, what is the mute button for? Like,
yeah.
and what why is it like? Why can't? Are you actively pursuing these people? Is that why you're being quiet? Maybe that could be what's going on. Like, you can't say too much. But, like, why is it the constant deflection? Like, I watch the videos and I see these reps speak, and I'm like, they're asking a simple question, really. I don't care who it's about, whether it be, you know, if they're going after Trump or whoever. I don't care who it's about, but just answer the fucking question.
Acknowledge.
Like, you watch this video 15 times over, and it's like, it took you 10 minutes, just a pure deflection. It doesn't get any less mind-blowing. It just gets more and more mind-blowing as to how this is happening and why it's happening and why it's allowed. It's almost like they want people to accept this shit.
It's almost like they just want you accepted. And I've talked to police, and I guess to bear their side, which would bring in a whole nother sphere of information. So a lot of times when they get these cases and stuff like that, the DA drops them. Like, and they look at it as like a waste of time because it's going to get dropped anyways, or this and that, which is frustrating. So a thing that I always like to talk about when I get a chance to is the modern sentencing of what's going on with pedophiles and the way we have older judges handing out these sentences. So you have a 60-year-old judge, and he's got a guy that molested a kid. Okay, let's say a 26-year-old guy molested a 6-year-old girl, right? He will give that guy five months of jail, 4 years of probation, and make him register as a sex offender. And the big thing that he thinks is like, it wasn't. What do you think's the worst part of all of that?
Molesting the child.
I mean, of the sentencing, the 5 months in jail, 4 years of probation,
the
and the
register.
registry. You think the register?
Yeah.
Why though?
Just because for them that kind of
Shamed.
it's the excuse me.
Yeah, but
you know?
who do you know that's like? there's people all over here that's registered you don't know.
Yeah, very true.
I don't want to. I was gonna say, is he registered? You know what I mean? That's my boy right there. Right there. That's my boy. Yeah, I got one. See, you know what I'm saying. But what I'm trying to say is like in the modern world, and
Yeah,
even
I guess
before
it's
this,
not highlighted as-
there's nothing,
It
bro.
happens once.
If you're a drunk driver, you like a lot of times, depending on the state, like you get a different color license plate. Where's the different color license plate for the pedophiles? Where's the different color mailbox? Where's the different color fucking anything to alert this guy is a pedophile? So you have these guys, like I explained earlier, a lot of pedophiles operate.
Shit, that just blew my mind.
A lot of these pedophiles operate here and here. There's not too many pedophiles here for whatever fucking reason. They're highly elite or they're trash.
Interesting.
And the different, like when a judge hands out, okay, you're a sex offender up here. Jeffrey Epstein's a sex offender. He's still having meetings with fucking David Stern of the NBA and like fucking everybody. Who gives a fuck that Jeffrey Epstein is a fucking sex offender? You got a guy down here that lives with his mom already, gets Social Security and shit already. Who gives a fuck that this guy's a fucking sex offender? All that shit at the end of the day is like a red mark when you're trying to get, like fill out an apartment application. Like your day-to-day life as a sex offender is not affected like at all. And you have these 60-year-old judges who go, gotcha, I really showed you, you're a sex offender now. And it's like, fucking who cares? And then you have drug dealers who fucking go to jail for like 10 years. You know what I mean? Like selling like Xanax. So
And doing way less of an impact on the, like, you know, like,
Yeah.
because that's kind of how they'll try to look at it, right? Like, oh, you've impacted many of lives and you've been selling drugs and da-da-da. Like, you can never, you impact bloodlines.
When generations.
Yeah, when with PDFs and shit like
Yes.
that. Like, you literally impact bloodlines.
And I think a thing that needs to be talked about too is drug dealers don't pay their probation officer. You know what I mean? They're not good boys. They don't show up to probation all the time. They don't get out of jail and then go get a job and turn it around. A pedophile's a rat. He's gonna do what he's told to fucking do. So he's gonna pay his probation fines. He's gonna pay his court fines. He's gonna have a job and uphold the job and everything like that. They're perfect little rats to keep the system going. That's why they don't go to jail, because they're more valuable to keep on probation, so these probation officers have a fucking job at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
You said some shit I ain't never hear before either. You said there's a private registry versus a public
Private registry. Nobody even fucking knows
Yeah,
this.
what does that even mean?
So he reports to a probation officer.
That's it.
That's it. So he's registered inside the court system, but not publicly.
So when he has to go fill out for an apartment, he don't got to check the box that he's a sex offender.
No.
That's crazy.
But even so, if it was that, you and I would never get privy to that information. Now, but this is what I'm curious about. One of the ways they downplay this type of perpetration is mental illness.
Yeah.
And they let a lot of people off due to that. Do you believe that it is a mental illness thing?
Bro, it could be like, hey, they're missing a protein in their brain or something like that. Like I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. Like, leave that for somebody like them, bro. Like, somebody's got to stop these guys from molesting kids. You know what I mean? I really don't care what's going on, you know?
Because I've seen your content, like, man, I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, let's go. Thank God somebody, like, I'm just mad you don't look like Dog the fucking bounty hunter.
I think
That'd be fucking cool. But
I think Kayla wants to go on the catch with you, bro.
well, so that's the thing. But then there's this other side of me that I'm like, damn, what if I did want to do something like this and get involved and try to make a difference, make a change, stand for the bigger cause, and God forbid one day I run up on somebody and this dude's fucking mentally handicapped.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh fuck.
We just had that situation an hour and a half ago. We literally had a catch, went to dinner, and came here.
You guys are fucking efficient.
Yeah. We try to be, man. We try to be. Yeah, so we had a guy, and we knew he was weird. He had like a little speech impediment. He was talking to a 13-year-old boy, saying he loved him, and he was a different dude. We could tell, like, oh, this guy's gonna be different.
Right.
And we meet him on Fort Lauderdale Beach. It's a beautiful scene, actually. And we walk up on him. We're like, "What you doing here?" And he's lying the whole time. And we knew that he's been saying like, "Oh, I get vans that take me this place." So he's like, come to find out, he's like in a home or something like that. And He's not all there, right? But he's lying, this and that. I'm like, who is you to me? He's lying. I'm like, here's your messages where you're saying like, don't tell anybody this and that. And
so you're aware. You're
yeah.
Like,
by any other standard, like if you've seen that guy and you're trying to talk to him, you'd be like, oh man, he's like, be nice to him. But he's lying about.
Right.
He knows what the fuck he is doing.
Right.
So we talked to his, I guess for lack of better words, handler, like some caretaker, yeah. And
guardian.
yeah, and she said that she had a boss and she worked for a company, and it's just like, y'all are passing the buck. Either he's responsible or you're responsible, or like somebody's responsible.
Somebody who's supposed to be making sure.
Yeah, and a thing that I'm glad you brought this up is there was this dude. What was his name? Daniel. Yeah. So, the caretaker brought another guy with him, and this guy's kind of on the same level. And this guy, he walks up with the caretaker because we're waiting at the car because we're like, no, you got to call your caretaker. Like, we're figuring this out. Right. And we're waiting at the car, and this guy walks up, and he was like, hi, guys, what's going on? He's a sweetheart, man. And we're telling the caretaker what's going on. He goes, Moses is a pedophile? I don't want to be here anymore. Yeah, so like I don't like hearing there's something wrong with them, like they have a learning disability or something. Like that doesn't make you more privy to being a pedophile. You know what I mean? A lot of people will be like,
I see what you're saying.
Oh, this guy's autistic, and it's like so many parents will write me and be like, thank you for like putting out this video because my son's autistic, and just because somebody's autistic doesn't mean that they're a fucking pedophile. Right. You know what I mean?
Pervert
so it was so beautiful to see. Shout out Daniel, man, and he was like, "Oh, he's a pedophile. That's bad."
Yeah,
he's like, and I'm like, man, that made me feel so good, and that's such like a good like message to people who be like, "Oh, it's because they're autistic," and it's like, no, it's not. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, because the awareness, and then it's like, I mean, first things first, we're going to start doing an episode every week if that's what you got going on out here. The more we could get rid of out here, we'll just keep flying you out. You know what I mean? Bro. Fuck that. Let's keep going. But it changes the way it feels when you hear about these things and you're walking down the street.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm sure that has to be something for you. And something I have to ask you is, the job is mentally draining.
Sure.
And that's probably something that a lot of people don't get to speak to you about because it's more like, well, what did you do and how'd you get them? How do you navigate your day-to-day knowing that these people are still out there hurting children? You know, you came from, you know, you said it was somebody in your family.
Yeah. Right,
early on that was impacted, and knowing that they're letting these people stay outside and this could happen again. How does that impact you mentally? It's
there's a couple different ways I can answer this question. Like overall, it's really depressing. It's really depressing. It's lonely, you know, because it's like the police ain't really on your side, and you're watching them like kind of just put their hands up and be like, shit, you know what I mean? And then you have. It's the internet, you know what I mean? The internet's gonna be the internet, but you have like a part of the internet who's telling you like, you're just doing this for clicks, and it's like, bro, I'm a fucking father. You know what I mean? There's no way I could be doing this just because I don't like pedophiles. You know what I mean? Like that's not, and just I think the way I film and all kinds of stuff, but that's a whole nother question. But just it's a lonely feeling of just like, what are we doing? It's almost like the Epstein stuff of just like you're watching this happen and you're just like, what can we do about it? You know what I mean? So,
well, it's like finding out Santa Claus isn't real. We know pedophiles exist.
Yeah.
Like you watch The Simpsons or like a cartoon and like fucking Looney Tunes, and there's some subtle shit where you're like, oh, okay, what the fuck? And you hear about Hollywood and you hear about Epstein, the most controversial shit going on right now. People talk about that more than they do talk about war. But I don't know, man. It's just interesting. It's interesting to see you get up and go out there and actually, you know, do what you're doing. But what I wanted to say, like Santa Claus, it's like realizing the rumors and the myths are real.
Yeah.
It's like I hear about it, but now I'm seeing it. It's that much more real. It's that much more damning, dooming. It's like,
And it's like the reality's worse than what you expected.
Yeah.
We live in an era where the conspiracy theory don't really hold a candle to the truth because the truth is crazier than the theory.
Right. No, it's crazy, and as much lonely as I say it is of just being like, I feel like I have like my supporters, and like the average guy is like, yeah, you're doing God's work, good job. Like you guys are supportive and shit.
God's work, yeah.
But like, I'm getting up at 4 a.m. to like fucking talk to these pedophiles and shit. This shit sucks. You know what I
I
mean?
want to ask you, what is it like? Do you get drained or mentally like depleted from having to be in that world?
Yeah.
Having to think and speak to these nasty people about their weird fantasies and what they want to do?
You got to do it as you have to do it as work. Like you got to clock in and clock out as far as that kind of stuff, man. Like. A lot of people think I'm at home like catching predators all day, and it's like, no. I go home and I like manage my like social media presence and business stuff as far as like catching, but like
Still a father.
yeah, I got a lot of stuff to do at home, and it's just like I can't be like this guy sends me a picture of his dick or something, and my daughter comes and runs and jumps on my lap. You know what I mean? So
That would ruin your.
There's like a time and a place, and like early on I tried to like I'm gonna catch all the time, because early on it was hard because I was catching so many, and back then like there was like it wasn't popular, there was no viral videos of it, so like nobody was aware, so it's a lot easier to catch back then.
Do you think it's that, or do you think there's more of them now?
Yeah, that's crazy.
A mix of both, probably.
Because like I'm very conflicted with a lot of things like that. It's like, do we just have more information, or are we actually finding?
I think our society is like super like overly sexualized, and like
America in general.
it's overly sexualized, and it creates like a lot of perversion.
God.
But getting back to the what I was saying is that like I do that stuff, and I wake up and like that part of it sucks. But the other end of the coin is like I've had all kinds of jobs. I've been a security guard. I've worked at Walmart. I've done all kinds of shit. Nothing has ever made me feel like good about myself the way that this does. I really feel it brings like something like in my DNA as far as like I feel like a fisherman, like going out all day fishing, and then I bring fish back to my village. You know what I mean? And it just feels like so core good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, net positive.
Yeah, so I lay down at night and I feel really good about like, oh, this is awesome. Like this fucking sucks, but it's awesome that like I get to do something and I feel like I'm actually like impacting the world. You know what I mean? Instead of like packing hot dogs at Walmart. You know.
You still work at Walmart sometimes.
I was gonna say, do you consider yourself a vigilante?
I used to shy away from that word because I was like, I don't feel like I'm giving out the just. They'll be like, I think the definition of vigilante is like handing out like justice that they believe is fit, and I don't believe that I get to do that. You know what I mean?
I mean, you do give them the slap.
Yeah, I give them
in comparison to the crime, though,
right?
And in the grand scheme, it's like
I feel like more of a physical journalist.
physical journalist. I like that. First ever.
Instead of a physical therapist.
I was going to put a spin on it, like I'm an activist. That sounds.
That's also what I'm trying to lean into more of like. There's so much things that, like, I hate being reduced to like you're the guy who smokes pedophiles. It's like okay, but like there's so much more like information out there that needs to be talked about, that needs to be spread, and needs to be just like chewed on by a society of like, hold on, why are there cops sitting on the side of the road waiting for people to speed and we don't have guys catching pedophiles? Hold on, why do drunk drivers have yellow plates but pedophiles don't have any other sorts of plates? There's just little things like that I feel like is so important, and I feel like if I get boxed in on being like you're the viral video of like smacking pedophiles guy, that it sucks. So I'm working more these past 2 years to like doing stuff like this to like really get the information out,
Yeah.
And getting back into the mental health portion of it, you say that you do have 3 children.
Yeah.
How old are they?
12 or 13, sorry. 13, 10, and 2.
So I imagine that for you, it's probably a little more scary because you're a lot more aware of what goes on when your children do leave the house, or when they are in school, when they are in a program. Like, does that make it tougher for you to be dad at those times without like that paranoia?
I think this might even sound opposite of what you was thinking. I think I have more of a sense.
Radar?
Yeah, I think maybe a radar or is like a confidence, and maybe it could be a bad confidence. But my kids are really, especially like my older kids, they're really like, listen, I don't be like, yeah, this guy said this to a kid, but they know bad guys exist, and they know bad guys will take kids, and they know like bad guys will be weird with kids, you know? So like my kids have like a more than almost probably any kid in America almost.
Yeah, their antennas are
they have
acutely aware.
Exactly. My daughter is very good at, hey, this guy's like we'll be at the mall, she'll be like, this guy's like staring at me. And like it could be something bad, or it could just be like a guy looked over or something, you know what I mean? Like you never really know. But they have like, their antennas are up, and I feel really like almost, like I said, what could be a bad comfortability, but like I feel like a really like I'm in a good position when it comes to like keeping my kids safe. You know what I mean?
How early is it that you think you should be introducing or having that conversation with a child that, hey, and how do you approach that conversation? Because I have 3 kids. I got a 4-year-old about to be a 2-year-old and a newborn. But,
Congrats.
Appreciate you. So with that, like, how do I approach my son, and what age is appropriate to approach my son, and what type of conversation am I having with him?
I think when they start leaving the house, I think is like the time to say like, yeah, you know, everybody's not family. You know, everybody, like, you're supposed to be kind and you're respectful and you have manners and stuff like that, but like everybody isn't family, and you know your kids' is like maturity levels, the words you can use, and like the seriousness. Like, you don't want to be like, yeah, and you'll get kidnapped if you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so I think the big thing is just like back in the day, I don't know how old you are. I'm 32.
40.
Okay, so definitely, no offense, but definitely for you, they'd be like, hey, don't get in the van. You know what I mean? Don't hop in the van. I don't care what they say. And I think a lot of that now is like these guys are on Fortnite and Roblox and being like, I'll send you Z-Bucks if like you give me your phone number and things like that. So just like kind of, I always say, people say like, what's your biggest way to like keep kids out of this? And I say it doesn't even have anything to really do with this. It has to do with like establishing communication with your kids like early on about anything. You know what I mean? So they're never feeling embarrassed. Or like, am I going to get in trouble if I tell them that like this guy did this? Or you just want to be able to have that connection to where like they feel comfortable talking to you, you know?
What's the more notable person or memorable moment when you went out there and you've caught someone?
I caught this guy. He was on ESPN. He was like doing push-ups and he could do like front flips out of it. His name was like Q Survivor. And I caught him. He was like teaching at a cheerleading camp or something like that.
Oh God!
And then what's funny is we went to Vegas to catch bad guys, and we found this motherfucker dancing on the street in Vegas.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and we like walked up to him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm good now. I've been better. This and that." And
look at me, I'm dancing in Vegas.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking.
So
do you ever believe those people?
No, I don't believe there's a cure, man. I think it's, if you rape somebody, if you molest a child, if you like kill somebody other than like self-defense, but if you're like plotting on somebody and you like fucking murder them, I really don't think there's any comeback from that stuff. You know, there's no apology. There's no like, I've been working on myself and going to therapy. Like, I don't care, bro. You're capable of you're capable of like ruining society. Like everybody here works really hard to like maintain what the fuck we got, and you're one of those people that just will throw it away. You know what I mean? You got no respect for society at all. So
you think there's a cause?
What's that?
You think there's a cause for pedophilia?
I think pedophilia is, I think this is spiritual. I think pedophilia is evil. You know what I mean? Like I said, with the power, I think pedophilia is evil, and it manifests itself in power. And just, I go like, you know, the the spiritual thing of like our body's a temple, and I feel like if you let that evil in and just like let it just sit there and manifest and just like build up, like you get weird shit like that, you know.
I believe that. I don't think it starts there. I think you start somewhere else and it gradually
Exactly.
gets into the thrill and whatever other bullshit you probably get out of it.
For sure.
Plus, there's also the theory that it's like the vampire theory. Like one bites another, and now you have two vampires.
Yeah.
And
Do you feel
years.
that? Like with
Yeah, you
people
see
that
that.
are,
You
know,
see
like
that.
people that have dealt with that in their past and they
Yeah.
become it. Have you dealt with any of that?
You see that a lot. A lot of guys say that they've been messed with. I think the FBI put out a number, and I think it was like 62% of registered sex offenders were messed with themselves.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I would have a hard time believing that. I'm like, I think that's deflection.
Yeah, a
know,
lot
if
of
I
people
heard
say
that,
that. A
yeah.
lot of people say that
Cop
as
out.
well. A lot of people do say that. I don't be like I believe it or don't believe it. To me, because listen, my partner, we have crazy videos. So my partner, he was molested as a kid by his basketball coach, and he grew up. He catches bad guys. He's even crazier than me. Motherfucker beats their fucking ass.
He got shot, right?
Yeah, he got shot. We had to take the gun away from the guy, beat his ass and take the gun away. It was a whole thing. But he 10, 15 years later, whatever, approached his coach that used to molest him and was like, hey, I remember, I didn't forget. I had the video, and the guy ended up killing himself.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And that was so powerful. You know what I mean? That's one of the most powerful things I've ever seen. And so like I watched him.
But not like in front of you.
What's that?
He didn't do that in front of you.
No, he recorded the video and then came home and like showed me. Yeah. He like followed him to Walmart and did it in like the parking lot.
No, I mean,
No,
he didn't take his.
Oh,
own
no.
life then. Yeah.
The guy that killed himself. No, he like took pills or something like a bitch.
couldn't take the shame.
I
Yeah.
love that. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna ask him.
no
He had any
fucks given. You know
remorse?
what I mean? He's like,
Obviously
like
not.
a bitch.
Dog.
No, he's
Yeah.
a
Well,
bitch.
because you know what else too, though? You start finding yourself sympathizing, and now no, bro. Like, remember I don't want to say who, but like the type of the person that the act that we're talking about. Like,
Yeah.
it's a cardinal sin. This is like the worst of the worst. There are way better crimes where you can make money and shit.
You have the privilege of like not seeing what they do. You know what I mean? If you got to be a fly in the wall and watch them do what they want to do or what they've done, there would be no ounce of sympathy. No, he's lucky I'm calling him a bitch.
I got a buddy of mine. He's a cop, police officer, and I asked him. This is one of the worst questions you can ask a cop or a military vet, but I asked him. It's my best friend. I got to pass. And I said, let me ask you, bro, what's the worst thing about being a police officer? This is post George Floyd. This is post, like, who wants to be a cop right now, right? Like, that's probably one of the worst jobs you can have besides the president, okay? But I asked him, what's one of the worst things about being a police officer? And he's like, some of this stuff you do take home with you. He's like, but you learn, like a paramedic, leave it at the door. He's like, but certain things still seep through the cloth.
Yeah.
And it's children. It's when children are abused or mutilated or kidnapped or anything. Just even if they're malnourished and kept in the backyard, whatever weird shit people go into. He's like, that's the shit that catches me in my dreams.
Yeah.
And I can't shake. He's like, if I had to, if there's something that I would want to speak on and get off my chest so it could kind of leave me alone for a while, he's like, it's kids.
Yeah.
He's like, I've seen dead bodies, stabs and guns and bits and pieces and car accidents. I've seen it all. He's like, drug abuse, but kids.
For sure.
Rough.
Yeah.
For sure.
Have you ever come across like some like wild institutional shit? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a Catholic church type cover up or the shit with the Mormons and how they try to like do the young brides or whatever.
Not like a major cover up, like little small stuff. Like the video I just talked about, it's called Jay's Story, inspired this kid Logan, who's called us and was like, hey, we want to, like, this guy molested me. I want to go like approach him like with you guys, that would mean a lot. So we went and did that, and we caught him outside of a church, and the church like protected him and like shielded him and brought him in the church, and then he ended up going to prison and stuff like that. So, but like you see a lot of times, even people in public. I'll do like an excuse me everybody or something, and you'll see little heroes think that they're like helping somebody by like going to help them and be like, stop, he doesn't deserve this type of thing, you know.
Yeah, okay.
But as far as like major institutional, I haven't seen anything crazy, you know. We've caught district attorneys in the Bronx. We've caught like teachers, and like we've caught all kinds of stuff.
It probably gets to a point where it's like,
Yeah,
I hope this isn't like a big figure, the chief of police or some shit. But then it's also like, I hope it's the chief of, you know what I mean?
That's a very great point, man. Like, we called a defense. What was he? National defense lawyer in L.A. And everybody was like, why? Everybody was like, why ain't you smack him? I was like, kind of self-explanatory. You know what I mean? Like,
his shirt said Esquire.
Well, in the movies, this shit they communicate. They have like a little network or whatever. Like, do you find anything like that? Like, is there like underground groups where they congregate on the internet or like?
With the way that they all have the same excuses, you would fucking think. But I haven't seen anything. You know what I mean? As far as like a organization of pedophiles or anything like that, I haven't come across it. Yeah. Not that it's not out there, but
I don't know if you've heard about like the whole Roblox thing.
Yeah.
Like what's going on with that? They have different worlds or maps or however you want to play it, and they'll congregate in there amongst other children, posing as other children. And
this stuff is wild, man. I'm not
sickening,
gonna lie. It's so wild. But has anyone ever tried to bribe you?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we've had guys be like, how much could I pay to get out of this? It's like, bro, nothing. Because honestly, like, even if you gave me like $1 million or some shit, if that and I took it, if that shit came out, like, that would be so embarrassing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I would be,
in my opinion, as bad as them,
I would,
if not worse.
exactly. I was just going to say, in my opinion, I'd be just as bad as a pedophile protecting a pedophile. You know what I mean? So
that's tough for me. I'd say $1 million plus a slap. Get it on video.
Yeah, you can donate the $1 million, and I'm still taking you in.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Do people ever take you to the police?
Yeah, for the first 30 seconds, you can do whatever you want to do. Like you're like, hey, what you doing here? Put your let me see your hands. You got anything in your pockets? They're fucked. Their head's like wom. So like you have like 30 seconds to like, hey, what's going on? Check their pockets and stuff like that.
Do you legally have 30 seconons, or like how did you come up with that thought process?
So you walked in the room. It was the first time we met, and then we dapped up. What if I just dapped up your pockets? Is that illegal? Is that assault? Instead of like smacking your hand, I'm like, hey, what's up, bro? And I just do that to you.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know the legalities of that. You know what I mean?
I don't know. It sounded like such a laid out plan. Like you got 30 seconds, you get in, you get out. You know what I mean? So 30 seconds, pat down the pocket.
Yeah, I'm not like picking you up and shaking you down or anything, but I'm just like, hey, what's up, man? I'm touching around your pockets and your waist and stuff, you know.
Have you ever been intimidated walking up to somebody, like somebody that looks like?
There's some big dudes out there that we've caught and stuff, and it's just like, I mean, we'll go into it, and my fiance over there, she always catches the toughest guys for some reason. Like, she's like, I gotta
go fuck him up.
One time she's like, I got a guy, he's ready to go, and I'm like, all right, let me see what he looks like, and then I go to see his picture, and he's got like 2 guns on the sink, and shit. I'm like, oh, thanks, you know what I mean? Like, good job. But no, you go in there, and I mean, you never go by yourself. Number one, so you go in there with the team, and you know, hope for the best. There's definitely times where I walked into it and I'm like, I guess.
You know what I mean? Now, 3 years ago, there was a warrant put out for a fight that happened inside of a Target.
Yeah, that's the shooting.
Okay. Walk us through exactly how that happened.
So we're in North Carolina, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We had a big fan down there. He's my buddy now, but at the time he was just a big fan. And you know, from day one, he's buying T-shirts. He's always in the live chats and stuff. I'm like, man, we got to look out for bro. You know what I mean? Let's take him on a catch. You know. So we go down to North Carolina. We got like 5 catches, and like the last catch, we're like, let's call our boy. Let's take him on a catch. So he comes, and we got this guy. His name's Dante, and he's trying to meet a 13-year-old girl, and he's going to take her to a quarry. Last time I said quarry, nobody knew what the fuck that was. You guys know where a quarry is?
A mining
like a rock quarry?
Yeah, like a man-made like lake type of deal, right?
No, we don't got those. We got
y'all don't have those down here. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but it's like a Midwest thing. So they're taking her to. He wants to take her to a secluded quarry, and we're gonna meet at Target. So we go to Target, regular life, regular catch, man. Like I said, I've done this hundreds of times. I walk up to Dante. I'm like, "Hey, Dante, what you doing here, bro?" And he tries to grab my phone, and I put my phone in like my chest, and then I kind of just bent over, like, because you take my phone, like, I'm gonna be pissed. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I put my phone in my chest, and I kind of do like a spin move because he's like trying to wrestle it from me.
Oh, it's fuck.
And
I've seen this shit. I remember this exact video now.
Yeah, and I do like a spin move, and when I do my 360 and I'm facing them again, he had pulled out a gun, and my partner like jumped and Target right in front of the fucking cereal, and my partner grabbed his wrist, and they're like spinning around literally like a fucking Die Hard movie. God. When my partner's got his wrist like this. And if my partner didn't do that, like I would have got shot in the back and been paralyzed or dead. And so I seen that happen, and I jumped on the predator's back. And at that point, we're like in a prayer position. Like the predator's like this, his knees are on the ground, we're like flat on the ground. And I got my chin in like the back of his neck, and he's doing this with the gun, like trying to shoot me in my fucking head. And the whole time, the gun went off like 3 times during that situation. And the whole time I'm thinking like, it sounds so stupid, but like I'm in my head like, kind of like, bro, I'm about to die in North Carolina in a Target. Like, I don't even fucking like North Carolina. Like this, I'm having like these weird ass thoughts while I'm fighting for my life. It seemed like the longest time, but like the shortest time. And the gun's gone off, and like in Target, like the music stopped. Like there's not even music playing. It's just fucking silent. All the people ran out. They think it's like a mass shooting probably. And during that thing where I jump on him, at some point my partner gets shot in the leg, and we're wrestling for the gun, and my boy Jay just walks away, and I'm at this point I'm fighting for my life, and at least at that point we had a 2-on-1, and he just walks away, and then he comes back like maybe 30 seconds later, he's like, "I'm shot," and there's blood running down his leg and shit, and he's just stomping on the dude's face, and then I got him in a rear naked choke. Yay. And to this day, I don't know. I don't want to ever talk to that guy again, obviously. But I would like to know, like, I'm pretty sure I put him to sleep. I know how to do it. I've rolled. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I put bro to sleep. And I pushed off of him. Well, before that, we fucking eventually flung the gun into an aisle, and then we went and got his gun. But put him in a rear naked. Think I put him to sleep. I push off down on him, and I'm like on my knees, like about to get up. This motherfucker pops up.
Holy shit.
And I don't know if he faked it or just like I put him to sleep, and then like adrenaline popped his ass up, but he pops right up. My boy hits him twice, boom, drops him. Oh, so there's blood everywhere.
Get the gun.
Yeah, we got the gun, and we're running to the car now. And bro, it's like a fucking movie. There's just 70 police cars, no exaggeration, just boom, 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 boom. People are running out screaming, crying. And we get into the car, and it's his car. Like, it's his car. So I get into the passenger seat naturally. He's shot, so he's like, "Bro, I'm shot." I'm like, "Okay." So I get out. Yeah, I get out. Yeah, so I get out. I'm about to drive. So I pull up to this light. We're like, "Okay, we got to go to the hospital." He's like, "No, let's just go home." I'm like, "Bro, we got to go to the hospital." He's like, No. So we're at a 4-way red light, and we're like, stopped. We're waiting at this red light, and he goes, "Bro, he's behind us." And I'm like, "No, he's not. No, he's not." And I don't know why I would think he was joking, but I literally thought he was joking. And I look back, and he's behind us.
How the fuck did he get out?
Oh my God.
I don't know. I don't know how he found us. Like, this is a big ass fucking Target. I don't know how he just walked out, I guess. But I don't know how he found us, this and that. So we're thinking he's got more guns. So I lean my seat all the way back. Yeah. And he pulls up next to us. He's trying to talk to us. Hey, just stop. I want to talk. His face is hamburger, unrecognizable. And we're like, no, fuck that. So there's 2 turn lanes. There's 2 left-hand turn lanes and 2 straight lanes. I go into the left turn lane, or not the straight lane next to the turn lane. And then the light turns green to like make a turn. I try to push it and like jump the fucking the light, and I got hit by a car. And we do like a fucking 360, and I just fucking pulled off.
And your boy is like, my leg.
Yeah. And the predator's still fucking chasing us. And at this time, I'll tell you like what happens, but the car won't go over 25 anymore after the accident. So we're fucked. And I'm doing all this like GTA shit where I'm like going as fast as I can and then slamming on the brakes thinking he might drive by. And that shit does not work in real life, by the way.
Just hit the brakes.
Well, definitely,
I've tried it too.
It definitely doesn't work at 25 miles an hour.
No, it does not work at all.
What
in real
else
life.
are you going to do? You can't speed up.
I'm doing some like, am I about to hit this fucking exit? No, I'm not about to hit the exit. And the whole time he's on my ass. And we eventually pull up into this doctor's office. And I had no idea. I'm in Winston-Salem. I'm driving around. I don't know where the fuck I'm at. I'm just trying to lose this guy. And we pull up into this doctor's office. And I'm like, I can't take it no more, bro. We've been driving for like 10 minutes. And I'm not exaggerating. So like we've had the shooting happen. And now this guy's been chasing us for 10 minutes. At this point, I'm
Where
ready.
the fuck are the police? They're all that time.
I would have drove back to Target. He's right here.
Exactly. I got so much shit to say about this. But so anyways, we were at this doctor's office and I can't take it no more, bro. I'm ready to die. Like if I'm going to die, if we're about, well, fuck it, we going to die then. So we still got his gun. I got his gun. And I park at this doctor's office and I didn't mean to, but it was just a dead end. So I'm like, this is it. So I park, he parks, and there's like 2 fucking guys out there just like having lunch, like just like talking. And I get out the car and I got the gun pointed at him. He's like got his hands up. I'm like, get down on the fucking ground, blah, blah, get down on the ground. He gets down on the ground. He's like, I got money, please, I just want to talk. I'm like, bro, put your hands behind your fucking back. He puts his hands behind his back. As soon as he does this, I take off running back to my car. Sucker! Yeah. So I take off running back to my car.
It's so serious but so funny.
Exactly.
You know?
And
that guy doesn't know what hit him. He was in Target 2 minutes ago. And then he's getting stomped out.
I don't know what hit me, bro.
Yeah, I'm about to say, think about their side.
Right. I'm not defending this guy.
Yeah, so I get back in the car. I try to go. He catches me fucking again. And then we pull up in this fucking, like, house, and I seen it had a Ring camera. I'm like, okay, again, if we die, at least the shit's gonna be on fucking camera. He's like, bro, he comes up to the car. He's like, bro, please delete the video. Da, da, da. You can have the gun. The gun's clean. Blah, blah, blah. You can have the gun. I got kids at home. Please delete the video. We're like, all right, bro. All right, we'll delete the video. All right, bro. Just go. And he got in the car and he left. We go back to the apartment. We're packing our shit up. Like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. We're in trouble. And we get a call, and it's like, hey, you guys are on the news in North Carolina. You're wanted for like burglary charges, because this guy went home, and whoever he lives with seen his face and was like, bro, go to the hospital, because his face was fucked. So he goes to the hospital. Like, what fucking happened to you? And then he's like, these guys just beat me up and took my gun inside of Target.
Right.
So
Can't tell him the other story.
Yeah, in his head, he thinks there's a possibility that you may have deleted the video at this time.
yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, he's like, these guys beat me up and took my gun at Target. So police get our number somehow. They call us. We tell them the real fucking story, and guess what? There's no video footage in Target of like anything that happened. So all we have is like our footage.
Just give us the store location.
Yeah.
I gotta get some stuff for the kids.
Yeah, exactly. It's terrible. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's just like, oh, you don't have any cameras there. But so they tell us, yeah, come down here. We'll talk to you guys, this and that. And I'm like, bro, you got us on the news as burglary suspects, but we're going home. Like, we're not about to stay here in North Carolina and then like have to bond out and then like go to court here and shit like that.
Fight it from North Carolina.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we'll go home and we'll deal with it. And we ended up getting just like an array. At the end of the day, they dropped the charges down to like, I think it's called an array, which is like a bar fight. and
public disturbance.
Yeah, so it's
wild.
It's wild. Yeah, we got in trouble for him trying to kill us, and the police were like, "Well, why were you running?" And I told him the whole story, and it's like, bro, like you gonna ask somebody why they're running from Jason? Like Jason's chasing with a machete. He's like, "Why are you running, dude?"
Right.
It's like, bro, this motherfucker's a murderer. He's trying to kill us.
What about the hospital for him getting shot in the leg?
We drove all the way home. He went to the hospital and kind of told him what happened. The Fremont police called like the police in Winston-Salem and like was like they were together on it or whatever. It was just nothing really.
Oh, that's fucking nuts.
That's wild.
Yeah, I remember watching that video because I think there was like a part 1, a part 2, a part 3 of something like that.
Yeah.
When I saw it at first, and I was just like, holy shit.
It's wild, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that you flipped it on him. Like, get on the fucking ground, pussy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bro,
With
I
his
was ready
own
for
gun
it.
too. That's the wild shit.
With his own gun, yeah.
He was just disoriented. Had to be. He didn't know what hit him.
I just like bro was gonna kill us in Target, and if he was gonna kill us to be quiet, like for us to like be quiet, like what would he have done to the girl? You know what I mean? He brought a gun to meet the girl. He had a
I didn't
warrant.
even think about that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Keep a secret, right?
Yeah.
So if he was gonna kill us to keep us quiet in Target, what would he have done to a girl where he could have killed her? Nobody would have found out. You know?
Yeah, that's wild. And then you find out about these type of people 20 years later. Oh, there's all these buried bodies and things of that nature. It happens all the time, you know, just whether or not they get caught with things
Exactly.
like that.
I truly believe we've caught murderers. We just don't know it, you know? Or child traffickers. We just didn't know it.
And early on, did you ever go through the thought process of maybe you can help these people? Like maybe the conversation or work?
Yeah. Yeah, early on I was like, I had a therapist that was like a big fan of me. And they were like telling me like, you know, you could send them to me and this and that. And I would be like, hey, you guys want help? Not one of them motherfuckers ever called. I used to give the number away. Not one of them motherfuckers ever called.
Did you so... There's so many questions.
They're probably like, are you
know what
going to
I mean?
be there? I ain't trying to get slapped again. No, I'm not taking that card.
But like these people get caught, you go through that. At what moment did you? Is it just that those phone calls weren't being made? What switched for you to say, yo, and get to a point where you're like, there's no cure for this?
It's such a combination of like so many things. Not one thing did it, but just like that. Like I said earlier, motherfucker, I'm lonely. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm the only one really trying to do this shit, and that's frustrating. I'm a lash out. You know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, it just got to the point of just like, I'm tired of society having to be the ones uncomfortable. If a pedophile walks in the room, like nobody's pressing him. Everybody's just like, it's a pedophile. Like, did you hear what he did? This and that. Like, why are we uncomfortable? Why the fuck is he walking in head high like do 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 do? And we got to be the ones that are like, oh shit. Like I want to change that. You know what I mean? I want them to be uncomfortable in the rooms. You know, and motherfuckers are way too comfortable talking to me about that kind of shit. It pisses me off. You know, and I'm just like, you know. If I get in trouble for hitting you, and I got warrants, but like, if I get in trouble for hitting you, like, what I'm doing is way bigger than any individual predator catch, bro. Like, as corny as it sounds, I'm really trying to change the world. I'm really trying to change attitudes. Yeah. I'm really trying to change legislation. I'm really trying to change tax allocation. So, like, I'm just putting my money where my mouth is. I can't be like, hey, y'all need to change, and like, what am I like sacrificing? Like, so I'm just showing like, hey, man. I'm smacking these pedophiles, and I have like this thing like if you smack a pedophile at Walmart, because he could be registered. I'm talking for a normal guy, not me. You're just a normal guy that lives in a town. You see the predator at Walmart, you smack him at Walmart because that's where he gets groceries. He's gonna be scared to get groceries at that Walmart. So now he goes to get gas, and somebody completely different sees him, recognizes him as a sex offender, whether he's on a video or he's on the registry, and they get smacked. They smack him at the gas station. Bro's probably moving away. He can't get gas. He's scared to get food. Like, he's going to go to a different town and he'll say, okay, well, what? Now that's that town's problem. It is, but they can do the same thing. But that's one less bad guy in your neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Now you're making me feel like that's why they protect them, right? Like that's why they don't get the different colored plate or the different colored mailbags. Let's protect them because it really does seem like it's this huge. Let's protect these guys. They're not so bad.
Unfortunately, that's like when you follow these. Okay, this leads here. This leads here. This leads here. It gets to a point of like, hold on, like you guys are going out your way to like help these guys.
Is a drug dealer that much worse than this person? Like it can't even be possible. You know what I'm saying? Like it can't. Like it mind blowing. Now, when you caught this New York State attorney, what was that like? And because
we didn't know who he was
at the time.
No, we didn't know we didn't know who he was when we caught him. And what was funny about that is we caught him and we're doing the excuse me everybody. He takes off running. And some random guy fucking catches him, puts his ass in a fucking headlock.
Nice.
Keeps him in the fucking headlock till the police get there. The police are talking to him, and bro takes off on the fucking police. This is a district attorney.
He's like, I'm not going down.
Runs
today.
from the police. Wow. Wasn't given his ID. Runs from the police. And this is in the Bronx. Takes off on him. Police can't catch him. My boy Jay is he's like an athletic beast. This motherfucker does like 3,000 push-ups a day. He's a nut. Fucking catches his ass, fucking slams him, waits for the fucking cops to show up. It was fucking beautiful.
That's awesome.
So, but we had no idea who he was until like days later.
And then what was that feeling like? Was there like a little bit of, oh shit, we might have fucked with the wrong one here?
No, because how we found out was he resigned. So
wow.
that like the same time we found out who he was, like
did he resign for that or for personal reasons?
Yeah.
Probably for that, I'd imagine. Yeah.
Probably try to spare himself. Like, I'm not gonna wait for this shit to come.
Yeah, I'm not going to work.
I'm going
to answer to this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. I got caught by some
because he went super viral because he's like one of those Charlie Villanova dudes where they don't have any hair.
Oh yeah, albino.
Yeah, so he was one of those dudes because he was going viral regardless.
Yeah. Now, there's a lot of streamers that have jumped into the lane and decided to bring celebrities along with them. When we look at your content, it's raw, organic, it's real. That's what it feels like. When we're looking at this content, a little bit cloudy, but are you happy that they're doing it, or is it kind of like they're fucking up the program?
That's a great question, and I have mixed feelings about it. Number one, what I do, it's Dads Against Predators. It's in the fucking name. It's super personal, and I've been doing this a long time. And no exaggeration, I've gotten over hundreds of thousands of messages of people telling me what happened to them, what happened to their kid, what happened to their brother, what happened to their sister, any type of story. I've read terrible stuff. I could never imagine dressing up as Santa Claus and making a joke out of this. I could never imagine playing in somebody's face like this. Catching a pedophile in itself, like I said like 10 minutes ago, this is so much bigger to me than one predator catch. Like, okay, I think so many people are out here working for like, what's the next viral video? Like if I do this, like this to this predator, like that would be funny. If I say this to the predator, it would be funny. And I just think like they're pulling the rope of where I want this stuff to be, like the wrong way. I want society to be taking this more serious. I want people to be more angry. I want people to be more outraged. I want people to look at the statistics. I want people to like look at this as an adult situation. And I feel like guys who are like dressing up and like playing, like if you beat me in Mortal Kombat, I won't call the police. I think like shit like that is like, that's like a smack in the face to like real victims out there. And how I always explain it is, my fans are probably tired of me saying this, but like there's football, right? Like an NFL game, Monday Night Football. There's so many things that happen within football, but football is football. What matters about the football game is the score. At the end of the day, like who wins, who loses. But like, is football funny? No. But can football have funny moments in it? A guy can score a touchdown and do like a funny ass fucking dance or whatever, and then you'll be like, oh, Randy Moss is hilarious. Or a guy can break his leg and be like, and it's his contract year, and it's like, oh no, his career is over, and it's like, this is so sad for this guy. But like, football isn't inherently sad. It's not inherently funny. And that's what predator catching is. It's like you can have sad moments and while like you're catching a predator, you can have like funny moments. This predator did this. This was hilarious. But at the end of the day, like the predator catch isn't funny. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of these guys go is like, this is funny. You know what I mean? And it's just like football. Like football can be funny, but football isn't funny.
Yeah.
You know, predator catching can be funny, but it's definitely not funny.
Yeah, absolutely. It's we live in a clout-based society.
Yeah.
Where they're trying to find ways to make money off these things, and that's what they're doing. And it is. I've seen the videos. Vitali. I thought those were like really clout chasing.
Yeah.
Like it almost made you feel like, all right, they're just beating on this guy just so they could get on. They could get some clicks. You know what I mean? Like
the secret is it's easy. I think that's why they do it. Is because is because like, listen, you guys never done it before, but I guarantee if you guys tried in like 12 hours, you guys could catch one guy.
Holy
and you guys
shit.
have never done it before in your life.
Gross.
And I guarantee you, like, I took him on his first catch trip ever. He caught 2 guys in like one day.
Damn.
So you can be not trained and catch this guy. So I think the content is easy. It's shocking. So
That
I
gives me
think
so much anxiety.
yeah.
Just
So
knowing that
There's that many.
Yeah.
That there's
Yeah.
that many.
right now, I have a buddy down here that catches, and like I guess he's catching tonight with like Aiden Ross and Vitality or something like that.
Oh, okay. There you go.
The way that I look at it, though, not to name drop, but we've had like conversations with like John Jones and Stone Cold Steve Austin, and almost had some TV shows on some streaming platforms.
Right.
There's been rappers and comedians and all this stuff, and like I've done catches with some rappers, I've done catches with like some celebrities, and what it comes down to is just like, why do you want to do this? You want to do this just because like you're trying to like go viral and enhance your career, or do you like really like you got like a dog in this fight? You know what I mean?
Yeah, is this important to you?
Exactly,
Really?
and that's a very like important thing for me because like if I can collab with somebody bigger and it like helps me out, gets my message out there, like yeah, it's good for me, it's good for my career, it's good for my message. So like I'm not totally against that, but like I am totally against it just if we're just doing it for like clout sake, for fucking like viral sake,
Especially
you know what I
knowing
mean?
that there's like people that accuse you of doing it, knowing what
That's
your
the biggest
intentions are. And then all of
frustrating
a sudden
thing.
it's like, well, this is what's happening. Like this is what you think I am, and then it kind of like like no matter what, unfortunately, that flows over into your cup. Oh well, he does the same thing,
Yeah.
NBA player Josh Giddey had rumors about him for messing with an underage girl, and those problems seems to be, they always get like swept under the rug or whatever goes on.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what happened with that case, but when you see things like that and they just disappear, how does that make you feel?
It's again, it's that I hate to keep bringing it up. It's that lonely feeling of like, what's the fuck's going on? Like you got like Jerry Seinfeld, like this motherfucker was dating a 16-year-old or something when he was like 33, and just like was parading her around like the Golden Globes and stuff. Like, you kind of just like look around and be like, is anybody else seeing this shit? You know what I mean? It's just like Jay-Z was with Aaliyah and Beyonce when they were underage. Like it's kind of just acceptable.
And Foxy Brown, they were just talking about that
Yeah.
recently.
But they did show, just to clear it from what I've seen, they showed that in those pictures, you could see him wearing like rocker wear shirts.
Yeah.
And rocker wear wasn't out at those times. And they were saying like how they photoshopped him into when moments when they were younger in a lot of these pictures to make it seem, but they were like Rockaware didn't even exist until this
that's
year,
fair.
so there's no way the dude was even there, but they just made
Possibly,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the Foxy Brown situation is a little different because they got a whole audio interview of the two of them talk about how they used to hang out when she was a kid, and he'd pick her up from school and all types of shit.
Yeah, wow.
Is
That is wild.
Yeah.
That's extremely wild. Like a lot of the stories, Woody Allen.
Yeah, Woody Allen married his own daughter.
Yeah, he adopted a young
ones.
girl.
She's like 3. Yeah, he knew her since like 3 years old.
And that has to be like the ultimate definition of grooming, right?
I think they probably asked him what grooming meant. and he wrote the definition.
But like it's strange because it's like, okay, well, you mean to tell me that guy can't get arrested? There's no charge you could put on him, like, and that's why I think when you talk about the way they have these guidelines and the laws that they have for people, like it just seems like fuck it. We don't have to rewrite anything. Drug dealers are drug dealers, and it's maybe early on they didn't think that this was that important of an issue, so they're like, there's not that many people out there that exist. There's way more drug dealers. Let's focus on these guys. That we'll save for another day. But it's like, okay, well, have we gotten to that day yet? Because in what world are you having me? Well, there's actually no, and this is the thing that I've seen a lot in these conversations they're having. They're saying, well, there's no criminal charges that they could place on these people when they're talking about Prince Andrew. There's no criminal charges because you might not have it set up for that. But there absolutely should be criminal charges if you're seeing these things occur.
Yeah.
You can't just invite a 13-year-old girl or have inappropriate pictures with a 13-year-old girl. Like, at what point do we protect our children?
Yeah, that's something that I think a lot of public don't know is, and that's something that like I get criticized for. Like, if we don't get an arrest or a conviction, like people will be on our ass. But what a lot of people don't understand is we catch a lot of guys that literally police can't catch. So what people don't know is that like you could be a 50-year-old man talking to, you name it, 10, let's say 10, that's shocking, a 10-year-old girl, and you could be like, you're beautiful, you're sexy, you're so gorgeous, I want to hang out with you. Can we hang out at the mall tomorrow? Can you get a ride to the mall at 12 p.m.? We can meet here. We'll have dinner and stuff, and you can come hang out at my place. Does that sound illegal?
Yeah.
It's 100% legal. As long as they don't talk about, as long as he doesn't bring up having sex or ask for nude pictures or send nude pictures, that is 100% legal. Men can write your fucking kids, tell them they're beautiful, tell them they're gorgeous, try to meet up with them, and it's not illegal. And they can meet up, and it still won't be illegal until the point of where he tries to have sex with her. Then that breaks the law. But
because you need a smoking gun. Like, there has to be a crime.
Yeah,
because technically,
that's not technically that's the thing. How is that not the crime?
It could be like your softball coach. Yeah, that's where it gets blurred, because your softball coach can call a 10-year-old girl and be like, "Hey, practice is at 6 p.m. tonight."
Yeah,
right. Well, it starts with why does the 10-year-old girl have a phone?
Fair.
Well, good question,
but I mean, go ahead.
I was watching a YouTube video. Have you seen like these 20-verse ones, but not the balloon popping shit, not like the ratchet shit. It's like arguing. Or debating rather.
Yeah.
Well, what it was a room full of 20 cops and one like ex-mafia crime boss. And he posed a claim. And as they pose a claim, 20 people in the room raise a flag to see who can argue it first. Basically what he was saying was, true or not true that undercover cops manufacture crime. And so the argument is, would this person have committed the crime if I didn't prompt them to do so? Which would be him like, hey, let's meet up at Target. Or like, but that's, where do you draw the lines? Like,
when does it become entrapment?
Well, yes, but, and they're saying, well, usually they've already committed a crime before then. That's why we surveilled them to set them up. So they were gonna commit a crime. But they were the crime boss guy was like, but there was no crime until you manufactured a crime. So it's tough. It's like chicken before the egg.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, is like, okay, you got a 50-year-old. Let's use this example that you brought up, 50 years old, 10 years old, right? You get them in a room together, and even if they meet in a public place, now we got somebody that is super mentally superior than this 10-year-old. And he could now coerce her in that time frame. Don't say anything or something will happen to you and your family. You know how easy it is to tell a little kid, hey, if you open your mouth, I'll kill your dog.
They're gonna be mad at you.
You know what I mean? Like you can't do anything. Like, so you're giving them that much time to figure it out. It's a crime the minute you reach out to that child and even make some sort of, if it's not softballs at 10 a.m., which that should be sent, message should be sent to the parent. And I'm sure you do that. Like if you got your kids in any programs, like you call me homeboy,
Right?
You know what I mean? And
It's just tough.
it is. It should be a lot simpler,
right.
but it seems like all I hear during this conversation, I'm kind of agitated about it because I hear like protection. That's all it sounds like to me.
Pretty soon you're gonna be out smacking pedophiles.
That's how I got here. That's why this guy right here is a legend.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, because he didn't leave it into their hands. He's like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm taking this guy's life.
What was it? Plouch?
If there was
Gary the
Plouch, I think.
Plu?
the Roots or something like that. Something
His
like that.
name.
Yeah, he's a legend though. He took care of business. But Gary, why? That's how that video was, and he popped that guy right in his head.
Now, I was gonna ask you if there was a single piece of legislature that you could point to that people are like using as a loophole or skating around. What would you say it was?
Like in a like if a pedophile is like looking at it like
Yeah, like
How the hell are they getting?
yeah, one loss, like the biggest barrier to what you're doing, you would say.
I really believe like it's confusing because I don't know, is it a lack of a law or like what I'm saying here is just like the ability to meet kids, because like if I was about to kill somebody, right, if I'm about to kill my boy Tony over there, like I'm not about to like create like a text thread of like with my girl like, hey, I'm about to kill Tony tomorrow night, like make sure. You know what I mean? Like
Shout out to the Kill Tony podcast.
Oh yeah, shout out Kill Tony. But yeah, like a lot of people, if you have like half a brain, you don't spell out your felonies. You know, so we all know that the intention of that 50-year-old man, you know, calling her beautiful, met her on Facebook, whatever. We know there he's not there to like even what is there. You know, if he's not the softball coach, what is there? Like, there's no position for him in her life. So I really think like the ability, like they know that. So many people know that like as long as I don't say anything sexual, nothing can happen. I've walked up on so many predators and I'm like, what are you doing here? What are you here to me? He's like, I didn't say anything sexual. It's the first thing that comes out their mouth because they know that like they're like, okay, they're Googling and shit. They're having the conversation. They're like, okay, as long as I don't say anything sexual, like technically the police can't get me.
So
and like that's like the biggest thing that like pisses me off is because then you have predator catchers. I don't know if you say beef or whatever, but like I have disagreements with predator catchers because you have predator catchers who define their success based on arrests. And if you do that, you're letting the I think the smart guys are the most dangerous ones. You know what I mean? Any dumbass that like, yo, I'm a pedophile and I want to have sex with you, like you're a fucking dumbass.
Yeah.
So like,
absolutely.
yeah. So like,
You're 100% correct.
So I think those guys are way more dangerous, and they get to walk away. Like the police don't attack those guys because they can't get them, and then you have other predator catchers who are like, well, my audience won't like if we don't get an arrest, and it's like I don't give a fuck. Yeah. I don't give a fuck what the law says. You know what I mean? I really don't. I'm not allowed to punch you guys or to smack you guys, and I still do. So
you think that unsolicited communication should be illegal?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're not in relation or if you're
immediate family,
yeah, and if you're not involved with the school or with like any extracurricular activities, like you should not be having any communication with anybody else's kids.
And they got to do something to protect these kids on that Roblox thing. 'Cause I heard about that a few times. Like, how are you, like, whatever game, like, there's got to be something that could be done.
Well, people were raising a lot of noise about it, and like nothing was being done. Everybody's kind of like, what the fuck's going on? Like, how could you not ban this or at least attempt to instill some type of rule, some type of terms and agreements, something, one layer of protection to say, hey, you can't be under or over us. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Anything but nothing. And then we're letting you know that it's there.
I mean, they
still
should
do
definitely.
nothing.
I mean, predators are gonna get around shit. So even if you go like, hey, you got to send in your ID or something, like they'll get around it. But that doesn't mean do nothing.
Can't just be complete.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you know, that's what's frustrating is a lot of people will be like, man, you think you're gonna solve pedophilia? And it's like, probably not. But like, is the alternate answer to do nothing?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, and it's so terrifying because like it makes all these conspiracies that we've heard that some of them is like, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
And it sounds so outlandish. It makes it not sound outlandish anymore.
Yeah, the truth is crazier.
It's like, okay, well, clearly it seems like there's all this protection going on, so why wouldn't it be so high? And then you see this thing, like, my first thought when I hear about Epstein and everything, it's like, okay, if they ever uncover these files and really get to it and they get the names, the first thing I thought, like, oh, well, wait till those names drop and all those people start dropping like flies, not saying that they're going to be taken out, just like they're going to be arrested and it's going to be crazy to watch this, and then it's like, no arrests. Yeah. It's why so quiet? It's like, is that what they want the world to be? Is that why there were never those laws there in the first place? Because those most powerful people are the ones that created this? It just gives so much more validity to all the conspiracy theories.
That's like the biggest frustration is like we're in 2026, man. And we're just now being like, hey, what's up with this pedophile stuff?
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I was going to say. This has been going on like BC. Like this has been going on since time, unfortunately. But we're much different people. You would hope to think that we've evolved to a certain point that is no longer intriguing. There's so many other things you could get into and fantasize about and strive for and hope to get and apply your creative, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Why that? How that?
Absolutely.
I was going to say, I think we live in an era, you were just talking about Woody Allen, where Hollywood, for example, used to glamorize it. You know what I'm saying? So
I think it's bigger than that.
Because you have a lot of actors and actresses who started out super young because Hollywood was glamorizing. I mean, we can name a bunch right now. Jodie Foster.
I was just thinking that.
She played a 13-year-old prostitute in a movie. You know what I'm saying? And who else? Brooke Shields. She started super young. So Hollywood has this thing that I think they're just now getting out of, where like when Weinstein and them people were around, they were basically sexualizing kids in Hollywood movies.
Yeah.
And it was mainstream culture. Like you said, stepped out with his young girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And bold, like that's
I didn't even
not
know
only having a 16-year-old girlfriend, but like bringing her to the fucking Golden Globes. Like that's how you know it's like it's chill. Like you had Miley Cyrus and remember you guys are hip hop heads. In about 3 years, holla at me, Miley Cyrus. Yeah. I don't discriminate. Like it's been there, you know what I mean? So
even they just did that halftime show to boycott Bad Bunny, and then
the Turning Point one or whatever.
And then they have Kid Rock.
Yeah,
and I didn't know about this, but somebody they highlight Kid Rock's lyrics, and I'm like,
he said some
I'm like, there's no way
something.
he said that in a song. And then you look up the song, and it says, "I like young girls. Some say it's statutory, but I say it's mandatory."
Yeah,
it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then okay, so everybody's mad at the Puerto Rican guy for saying ice out. Right, and then giving his reasons why, but you're not. Now you're watching the halftime show of the guy that you're really mad at because you're really mad about these files. Everybody that's watching this, they're all pissed off about the files that are out there and the lack of information and the lack of arrest. But you got one guy that's leading the show that's saying, "Hey, it's okay." It just fucking blows my mind.
I'm telling you, Hollywood used to glamour. Even I was just thinking about it. Right? Remember Belly, the movie Belly?
Yeah.
All right, with DMX.
Yeah.
All right. In that movie, DMX had a 15-year-old girlfriend.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that. No, that's crazy.
Watch it again.
I don't want to say.
Yeah, we're not gonna go into it, but with a sex scene.
Yeah.
In the movie,
amongst other
that shit is wild. But
that was like what 20 years ago. So
yeah,
I think eventually we'll look at this stuff like we look at like racism, and like obviously racism's still around, but just like we'll look back and be like, wow, the world was really like that. I hope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I hope we could look back and be like, whoa, we had different water fountains, and we could look back and be like, wait, we sexualized like 15-year-old girls and shit on Disney Channel? Like I hope we can get to that point, you know what I mean? And we've had revolutions, racial revolutions. We've had this past like 20 years have been like the sexual identity revolution. We had the women's revolution for voting and their place, like in the workplace and all that stuff. And it's just like, when are we? Who's going to be the Martin Luther King of this? You know what I mean? And we're just, I think like we're waiting for that. And with this wave of like the Epstein stuff, like it's coming to a climax. Like something needs to happen.
Absolutely.
How do you handle the fear of any potential repercussions, not just for yourself, but for the people that are associated with you?
That's a huge weight that I live with every day. It sucks. My kids won't ever be able to have like the normal social media life that like the other kids around them will have. I have to keep where I live a secret. Like I can't have bills in my name. Like when I buy a house and shit, it's got to be like through this, like this LLC that's in this trust that's in this, and it's like I got to do all that. I got to jump through so many more hoops. Just like I get death threats like every day.
Yeah, because you're pretty committed, I'd say. You know.
Yeah.
So these are things that with foresight you would hope to kind of get ahead of and.
Prepare. Yeah. Luckily, I live in like a good gun state and have like good security and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I mean, I've always told my girl and stuff, like if somebody kills me, they're not gonna break into my house and kill me. They're just gonna like follow me or some shit like that. Yeah. So like the whole, like you can fucking get your house doomsday ready or whatever, but like the reality of somebody John Wicking you in your house like isn't that like that much of a problem. So like the big thing is just like when I step out to be like really aware of like my surroundings and things like that.
Now you said you've gotten threats. Has anybody actually made through on the threat? Like
I've got a lot of like so like one of my old addresses is my grandparents' house, and like you can find that on the internet or whatever, and people will send weird shit, like weird threats and stuff through the mail and stuff like that. But as far as that, you know, I get like I said, daily I get threats, and it's just like you take them serious, because if I'm like, yeah, this will never fucking happen, that's the day it happens, you know.
Yeah, true.
And if I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna kill me, then that fucks me over too, because now I'm like paralyzed in fear. So there's like a healthy skepticism that you have to have the whole time. But I guess it's just part of it. That is one thing that I feel terrible about by putting that on my family. I put a target on my family's back, and that's something that when I first started, I had no idea that I did.
Right.
And now it's one of those situations you can't put the genie back in the bottle. Like I've already, like I said, I've been a part of 800 catches. I've probably caught myself probably like somewhere around 650 something. And let's say 3 people, including the predator. So we have 3 people you got the predator and then 2 people that love that predator to death, whether it's a significant other, the mother, the parent, the brother, the son, the daughter. So you got 3 people that hate me and want me dead. So technically I got like 650 times 3. What the fuck is that? Like 1,800 people that the day I die is going to be a fucking mini fucking holiday for them.
Celebration, yeah. Have you ever had anybody that kind of hit you with the, I knew it was a fake, I knew it was you?
Yeah. Yeah, you got, yeah.
Yeah, bunch of bullshit.
Yeah,
you hear him. Oh, yeah, it's just my friend.
Yeah,
Really?
I knew you were doing this. This is what we were trying to do. We were trying to see if you were a setup.
Right.
Like, okay, bro. David D4VD, I believe. Right, that's what he goes by, his stage name.
Oh yeah,
the singer, rapper, artist, whatever he is. That Celeste Rivas, I believe her name was.
I think that's her name. Yeah.
He got. I mean,
is he arrested yet? Or
I don't know if he's arrested yet.
This
I
is
think
like one of the wildest stories.
Yeah, I don't think he's arrested yet.
They finally listed him as a
suspect,
and I thought they put a warrant out for him.
Oh wow!
But when you hear about stories like that, what are your thoughts on that? Because that's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. And from what I read, I could have completely wrong information, but from what I read, there was like an agreement between the family. I believe he was paying the family money. Gabrielle's family money to like be with her. so like she could leave and like go on tour and stuff with him like that, and like not go to school and shit like that.
Whoa.
The latest development is that there's a grand jury subpoena for him. So I guess they're investigating it.
And then he has like a boyfriend or something that I read. It was like an Asian dude.
No way.
That he's like I guess like directly involved, and yeah, I mean that's terrible.
Actually, breaking news: 10 hours ago, a key witness in the case was arrested.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Who's that?
We can do it now. Hold on. It says.
Breaking. I think that's the first breaking news we've ever had.
All right, key. We'll put it up here. Key witness in David case arrested. Shocking update in Celeste Riva's death investigation. Neil Langston arrest marks a significant development in the investigation of Celeste Rivas Hernandez's death. I guess that's him.
This guy.
No, that's David.
Pivotal witness.
Neil Langston, social media.
Has been arrested, now facing grand jury scrutiny in L.A. and intensifying the most disturbing and closely watched criminal.
That Neo dude might be the Asian guy that I was thinking of.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, so I didn't want to sound racist or anything by saying Neo sounds like it could be, the one.
It's actually
All right, but yeah, we can get into it. But yeah, there's an arrest, and the case is moving. So
that whole case is like a fucking Netflix series.
It will be for sure.
Yeah.
Just everything that's been going on and coming out little by little. He's
I
still
thought
on
it was
tour.
part of his plan.
The songs and stuff like that.
It seemed like a rollout.
Like that's a real. So again, that's the real. Those are the scary people, the smart ones. The one like he almost got away with everything he did. Now, I'm not saying he definitely did it. I don't know what happened. Maybe it seems like it to me.
I mean, if she wasn't dead, he'd be getting away with it, right?
Yeah. Exactly,
And
it's just like the smart ones, like all the shit that goes on. It's like what the fuck is going on? That if there was allegations of this guy selling drugs, now he's RICO'd and they're locking him up anyways. But this guy, it's like okay, well let's just stay out for a bit as long as we know where you are.
Right.
What? So you don't think that somebody is like that is smart enough to get away, escape, or do this again to another kid? Like, this is fucking mind-blowing. It really is mind-blowing.
And it's like, if you're into like molesting kids, it's not like you're not putting yourself, like you don't have to like put on a mask and like get a gun and go like risk robbing a bank or something like that. Like you don't have to do, for lack of better words, like that much criminal activity.
Yeah, you just got to open and turn on your video game.
You know what I mean? Like if you're selling drugs, like you got to get in the car with the drugs. Yeah. You know what I mean? You got to transport the drugs. You got to like make the person-to-person interaction with the drugs. Like there's so many like ways of like you're gonna get caught here. Like you know what I mean? Opportunities of being caught, and it's just like the opportunities of like a pedophile getting caught is like so small. It's literally somebody has to like say something, and then it has to get proven. Like through like
so there's no way that somebody could be sizing themselves up on arrests.
Exactly.
So the arrest matter, but you can't even arrest these motherfuckers. So how does that fucking work?
It's frustrating.
Yeah, it's definitely Bad Barbie. She had went on a stream.
Yeah.
And she was speaking about grooming, and she was mentioning a few rappers and saying, well, I was with him when I was 13 or 14. When you think of somebody like Kendrick Lamar tried to put this on Drake. He says, "Oh, well, you're a known PDF, and you kissed a 17-year-old." When you see that, do you think it's just all right? They're just chasing something, or is there something valid there? Like, how do you look at that? This guy, this 20-year-old girl, or this 20-year-old guy, 22-year-old guy, he pecked a 17-year-old girl on a stage. Is there grooming going on?
That's like it's a really. I think the easiest way to do it is we kind of did it. It's just like, are they 18? And I think once somebody turns 18, like, I think it becomes like none of our business, Okay. People all the time will ask me like, well, what about an 80-year-old and an 18-year-old? And it's like, okay, so where do you draw the line? 79 and 1960, like where, like eventually there has to be a line. We've all kind of said 18. So like, I would probably like, I would do like 19 or 20 if I was in charge. But I'm just going with America. We're doing 18. Fine. Fuck it. We'll do 18.
That's higher than some other places.
So I feel like if you're going under 18, like you're being weird.
Yeah.
Like you're. I hate to say it, but yeah, you're doing some pedophilic shit.
Yeah.
Well, the
You know
thing
what I
is,
mean?
if you, regardless of your age, we were all 18 at some point. So if you understand what the mental state was from 16, 17 to 19, you know you're an adult, but you're not an adult. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a reason why you still wait till 21 to start drinking.
Absolutely.
It's okay.
Yeah. And that's the wild thing, right? Like there's all these, wait till you're 21 to do this, or you're 20 to do this. Like it's
Buy some cigarettes.
at what point is that gonna be a hard line? Like, hey, like we can't just keep bending rules. And but what would you say? You got a 21-year-old, and because I believe in 6ix9ine's case, right? He was about 21, 22 years old, and he was with a 17-year-old, and I don't remember that. He got some shit happened that he had in his house.
Yeah, they like ran a train on him or some shit. Like I remember that.
Do you think that's young foolishness, or do you think at the same time?
I believe there's a spectrum. Like I believe for me, if there's like a high school, like, do I think like a girl, a sophomore dating a senior, like that guy's a pedophile because he's 18 and she's 16 or 15? Like, I don't think that's fair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're in the same pool. They're in the same like.
I mean, you said it before. It's about the
social groups,
the power dynamic.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't look at that and be like, oh, this guy's for sure a pedophile or something like that. But like, you're for sure putting yourself in the conversation.
Yeah.
And I think that enough should be like fucking alarming to you to be like, I want to be far away from that. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want somebody to even be like, so what do you think about this situation like you're doing? It's like, I wouldn't want to be connected to that shit at all, So I think you should make better decisions. I mean, when it comes to shit like that, but.
Absolutely. I was in a relationship when I was like 25, right? And the girl says she's 21. And my boy calls me up and he's like, bro, you fucking with that girl? No. And I'm like, why? Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, she's 18. And I'm like, nah, she ain't no fucking 18, bro. She's 21. I seen her ID. He's like, fake ID. My girl's friend is friends with her. So, like, we were hooking up, And,
shit.
thankfully, he says this early, but still she's 18. But I got fucking... Like, I lost my fucking mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Because I'm thinking at that point in my life, like 21, I'm 25. I'm out drinking all the time. Like, you're not even 21. You can't even be out with me. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you at the clubs with me?
Right.
But there's a lot of people that do that with the fake IDs and shit. And I believe that might have been a similar case to the Josh Giddey situation.
That's what I was going to say. I think the Josh Giddey thing was like that almost.
When a woman lies, I mean, obviously you could tell, right? There's got to be a distinct difference between a 16-year-old. Even like, I tell my girl all this, I tell her this all the fucking time. When you look at a picture of yourself when you were 18, like you might think that, when I was 18, I was independent, I was doing it all. You were a little ass kid,
right?
And you look at those, and then you go to 16, and you're like, holy shit, I looked way younger there.
Yeah.
You could notice the distinct differences most times.
For sure. And just like, I just think if you are in that position, like you gotta be like vigilant,
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be Josh Giddey.
Yeah, facts.
You don't want to be on Sports Center fucking with the underage girl. So
And nowadays, I say all the time, like people I wouldn't even want to get back into the dating pool.
yeah,
Like all that shit's fucked up now. You don't know if it's a boy or a girl. Like the shit is pretty fucking wild. I've seen some interesting specimens out here that you don't know what the fuck is going on.
Miami's different.
Like, Miami is fucking different, and it's just like you'll see your boy and you're like, you know what I mean? We don't know, my boy. Nobody knows. Chill out. But those are the things that a lot of people are coming to face with, like they have to see these situations and go through these situations. And you're somebody, obviously, again, I want to close this out here. You're somebody that's doing all this. Do you, we spoke about your mental health, but have you ever spoken to a therapist or a counselor just to kind of get your mind right for the times that you do feel like maybe, like, because I say this to men all the time. We're too goddamn strong, too goddamn much of the time. You know, we're always, I could carry all the weight, but sometimes it's like, I understand that. Are you married?
Engaged.
Okay, so you got your fiance with you, and she's obviously a source that could calm you down, but do you allow any other people, or do you speak to anyone?
I was going to therapy for a while. I was having like really bad anxiety, and they helped out with that. What's the rapid eye movement? That stuff's that's the real deal, man.
Worse than a twitch.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah, so that stuff helps out, man. But yeah, I mean the big thing I believe is just as much nasty stuff that you gotta put in, like you gotta try to put in good stuff, you know. You gotta try to see like the love in the world and the love within people and stuff like that. I think I kind of like, what was your main question again? I went off
just speaking to a therapist, and if you allowed yourself to speak with them, to open up.
Yeah, not as like, I was going to therapy because like I was having anxiety of like with the threats on my life, and just like, oh man, what have I got myself into? And just like, I've kicked some ass. I'm like, bro, is the FBI mad at me? So there's things like that. But as far as, I don't know, man. Like I don't really delve too much into like the nastiness. I've seen a lot of nasty stuff, and I don't know if I'm almost like a doctor of it. Like I'm just become like, I wouldn't say numb because it still makes me mad, but it's just like, this is work at this point.
That's good because it helps you get the job done, but subconsciously you're probably blocking it out.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
I mean, I can't blame you.
Yeah.
You know, because then the opposite of that is you see everybody as, oh, well, this fucking guy could be, and that girl,
for sure,
and that guy, and this, and then everybody, and then now you're living in this shell and just not trusting.
It was
anybody.
something I struggled with very early on. Of just like an over amount of like, everybody could be a pedophile, and like nobody's safe, and this and that, and I just wanted to catch pedophiles all day because I could, and it was just. You really gotta let yourself breathe. You know what I mean? You really gotta give yourself time to, like, okay, man, go back to the real world. You know what I mean? Smell the flowers, for lack of better words. You know?
I've heard you say you rolled. Have you trained jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, I've rolled before. Yeah.
Have you? If that's something that you pick up, especially if you're gonna be out here putting hands on people, you need to know how to handle yourself.
For sure.
But something like that would do away with all of that, any of that physical stress.
Yeah.
That you're mentally blocking away and seeing physically, like rapid eye movement.
Yeah, my girl's big into this. The Reiki therapy. You guys ever heard of that?
I knew Reiki was coming up. I knew it. I knew it because I said my girl is into, and then my boy, Nova.
What is that?
It's like a spiritual meditation. Like, there's like a
chakras,
a girl or a guy, I guess it could be, but they're like, how would you explain it? Like,
I was just about to say, let's just
a guy.
I guess it's really spiritual. Like basically, like someone, whoever it is, a Reiki therapist will like kind of just really relax you, and then just really go into like all your different,
and breathe in.
Yeah, and go into like all your different chakras and like kind of feel. It's really energy related, and I really think that like. When you're carrying these like negative things, like it's really energy related. You can really feel it. Somebody walks into a room that maybe is like a bad person, you can feel it. You feel it when you have these catches, you feel that energy, you know? So the Reiki therapy, like, kind of just, from my experiences, it like takes that energy. Maybe you have too much positive energy, it will like rework that into like motivation. Or working your positive energy in a good way. And if you have too much negative, it will take it and it's just all about energy, working energy.
I was a really big skeptic, and she's like, no, you gotta go. I'm like, nah, I don't believe in psychics. I don't believe in nothing like that.
Too much woo-woo.
And the lady I went to, she knew nothing about who I was, anything that I did, and she was was checking my chakras or whatever, I don't fucking know, and she's like, wow. And I'm like, what? She's like, I just feel that you are carrying like the weight of thousands of souls on your shoulders.
Shit.
And like I just got chills now.
Yeah,
like,
that shit gave me chills.
Yeah, and I'm just like, wow. Like that was like, holy shit, is this fucking real? So that was like a big eye-opening moment of like what's going on behind like the, because I said this stuff is spiritual. So like there's probably a spiritual weight that gets put on me by like seeing this shit all the time. And yeah, she had no idea. I didn't even tell her afterwards, like, hey, you said that and this is what it means. Like, she probably still has no idea to this day, like what she said and like how it like meant to me, you know what I mean? So like it was crazy to hear that and just because it's like to tell a guy like, oh, you got your family on your shoulders, like, all right. But like you got thousands of souls, like
832.
Yeah,
to be
like
specific. I'm getting Target. What happened in Target?
That's enough.
Stop hitting the tuning fork.
I'm going home.
Yeah, I'm out of there.
Putting out the incense.
Yeah, that was crazy to hear that, and so there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that I don't even maybe I'm aware of, like mental, you know.
Yeah.
Were you? Sorry, I have a question. Were you two doing catches before you met, or did she meet you while you were doing this?
She was a big fan. No, but yeah, she hit me up, and I caught in Philadelphia, and she hit me up, and her weird ass like found what Airbnb I was staying at somehow. She's like, "Hey, I found you. By the way, like you need to be careful because like." If I found you, somebody else could find you. I'm like, damn, she's good.
I like you.
Got to get her on the team.
I like
That's
your
dope.
style.
That's dope, and it's dope that you could joke around. You know what I mean with your significant other because those are the strongest relationships.
For sure.
Right? But I guess that's ultimately what I was looking for because we're all grateful for you.
No, thank you, man.
And the work you do because that really is it's needed. You know, and we can't obviously depend on law enforcement to get this job done. It doesn't seem like they really put too much. It's unfortunate, but it doesn't seem like they put too much emphasis on this. But to know that you have somebody in your corner, right, that could help at least alleviate some of that stress.
Yeah,
that's every time we sit down and we talk to men, it's like, what are you doing actively to make sure that you're trying to get some of those weight of those thousands of souls off of you? You know, because you gotta continue moving forward. You gotta live for your kids. You gotta be able to live for your spouse and be able to ultimately live for yourself and have a happy life.
Sure.
You know, and so many men are just kind of, I'm just gonna keep crushing life and crushing life and crushing life, and then 50, 60, and then they're just like, what the fuck did I do with all that time? Like, what about my happiness and where I'm at? And you see those people are depressed and they lost themselves. So it's dope that you have that. What can we look forward to from you? Is there anything big coming in? I know you had that documentary.
With Tommy G.
And that did like 1 million views and like immediately, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. We got a website coming out that it's fucking badass. I signed with a management company and this guy's been fucking hooking me up. So we have a website that will come out that's you can like just put the mouse over a state, see all the catches that come from that state and things like that. Merch, all the regular stuff.
Does that provide identities as well?
What's that?
That website?
Yeah. Yep. The website will have the names and all that stuff, you know. So other than that, we got like podcasts that we're doing this year and this and that, just working and nothing too much crazy, you know.
Anything we could do to help to get you on other podcasts as well, we'd love to be able to do
appreciate
that. We got a lot
man.
of networks in the industry. Anybody you want to work with, you know, we
sure.
love that. I know I contacted my boy Matt Rosa, shout out Matt Rosa, and I was talking to him about his Orlando Brown moment. Remember I told you that? But he said he dealt with the punk Orlando Brown, like a punk artist.
Punk rock. I thought you meant.
Yeah, so that's what I thought. So when I was speaking to him, he's telling me, he's like, oh, you know, I'm out of the country right now. I'm going to be speaking to somebody that does work with catching predators. And I was like, oh, wait, tomorrow I'm doing that. And I mentioned you. And he goes, get the fuck out of here. So I'm like, you're doing the same interview? You know what I mean? That's my first thought. I'm like, don't get the fuck out of here. Me, what do you got? You know, and he's like, dude, that dude is a fucking legend.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know,
man.
he's like, bro, whatever you could do to fucking link me up with him, I'll fly out to wherever he's at. I want to have a conversation with him.
That's sick.
I fucking love that dude,
He's
bro.
like, he's one of the
so
first
official.
ones.
Yep.
Yeah,
He's
that's
not
sick.
the first.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
We appreciate you for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
Make sure you get us all those links and everything so we
sure.
can also post that up with everything. And
Yes,
again,
sir.
we appreciate the work you do.
Thank you, man.
Where can the people find you at?
Shua Mundy, ShuaMundy on Instagram, Google, whatever you want to do. And then locals.com is how you support us. $12 a month. You see all the videos, $3 a fucking week, less than a coffee. So that's how I make all of this happen. I don't have any sponsors right now. I don't have any other thing going on than just like crowdfunded. So every single catch that I do, my locals people, it's like their catch too. So I say it's like Congress. Like we pay money to Congress, they making the decisions. Like us as Americans, we get to profit off that. So these are like the real taxes. You're paying $12 a month and you're actually getting the shit out of it.
Right.
And not only do they pay for all the catches and all that stuff, like they put food on my table for my kids. So like everybody that supports me, like you're basically part of my family, and I appreciate you guys. So locals.com, Dads Against Predators. That's about it.
All right.
Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Orlando,
What you doing, bro?
sign us off, my brother.
Yes, sir.